Whoa! Moving so there, boy. I'm sorry. You know, it makes a great gift. And it's so cheap. You can get them on eBay for like 12 bucks. Titanium straws. And you give the gift to somebody, and they use it like every day. They think about you, subliminally or otherwise. The best gifts to give are ones that are cheap and that people use every day. Get them a titanium straw. You can get them on eBay. Hey, check out these big suckers before I do this video, huh? No, there's a big yellow one with red stripes on his little bottom there. Ooh, isn't that nice? Oh, I'm gonna eat you later. Yes, I am. I'm gonna pour some dressing over you, some balsamic vinegar, some bacon bits. Oh, God. Are they so good? I'm sorry, I'm gonna edit that out of this video. My apologies. Ooh, so soft and squishy. Just perfect timing to eat those suckers. I'm sorry. I have a thing for big, plump, real tomatoes. Not those tomatoes you get at the grocery store that bounce like ping pong balls. You know those nasty tomatoes? You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'd like to do a short video on modern day planning and problems. Even though I was born in '72, I didn't live in the time of World War II, and I know there was the draft in the Vietnam War and so on and so forth. I know that, and of course, it made a lot of people nervous and whatnot. I can't imagine, other than what's going on right now, because I nearly died. I nearly died of the flu in 2010. I know exactly who gave it to me. My neighbor across the street, she'd babysit her little grandchildren or whatever, and she came over to my house. She said, "Oh yeah, they got the flu." I was like, "Oh really?" It's like, you should have kept them away from me, And they played around me and probably coughed their filthy little germs on me. So I caught a flu so bad it took me like 2 months to recover. I nearly died. I'm not, I'm not afraid of kicking the bucket here, but the man, the stuff that's going on right now, I've never seen. I'm going to get to the pith of the matter here. Never seen a time since, and of course I wasn't around for World War II or Vietnam for that matter. Never seen a Korean War either. Never seen a time since World War II where you really need to have your head on a swivel. The whole world is shifting into a crazyville, and it's shifting there because of you know exactly why it's shifting there. It's not shifting there because of unseen things, but rather people in three-piece suits. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way of saying it. People seem to be content with their Netflix and their Amazon Prime movies instead of real freedom. I guess they're just content to work at home or work at their regular job if they can anymore, and just come home and eat Cheetos and watch Netflix or something like that. Obviously, this is becoming a degenerate age. Said the fat guy covered in tattoos, right? I, I am fat, and I do work 7 days a week, though. I'm fat and tattooed, and from the perspective of people from 30, 40 years ago, if I were to travel back in time, even 40 years ago, people look at me as like some sort of low-life degenerate. Maybe a lot of people today do. But I lead a simple, clean life. I have a farm. I'm not a farmer, really, but I have a farm, and I love walking, out in the woods and, jumping in the creek. I was jumping in the creek about a month ago, literally, up to my neck in the creek, or leeches and everything. I'm not afraid of that. It was just nice. People have really de-evolved, and they can't communicate anymore. I was talking to someone today on the phone, and I kept asking the same question over and over again, and they kept giving the exact same answer that was not an answer to my question. I keep encountering this all the time. That's not one answer. I know it's happened to you too. It's people that can't communicate anymore. They have the attention of a mosquito. What is like a goldfish, which I don't believe that, but it's kind of funny. Like when a goldfish swims around the tank, his brain is so null and void that when he comes back around, he's forgot that he started there. People have gotten, and it's probably not true of a goldfish, actually, but it is kind of funny. But human beings have gotten like that. Critical thinking skills now are insanely rare. If ever was a time for you or, those, and a lot of people are homeschooling their kids to embrace things that will help develop critical thinking skills. I'm not a person that believes in playing games, but the one thing kids should learn how to do is to play chess. I was a chess champion in high school. Last dude I had to play was a Japanese guy. I forget what his name was. Satoshi somebody like that. I remember he was covered in zits. And I beat him, so I was a chess champion. But I mean, people should play chess, be able to think several steps ahead. Nobody does that anymore. I mean, people are really bestial now. They don't think, like, what are the consequences of my actions? If I do this, then that will happen, and if that happens, then this will happen. There is a huge benefit to playing chess, and people should read books that develop critical thinking skills, such as the Pitaphysian, or specifically the Enneads of Plotinus. Any translation for that matter, actually. Try to stay away from McKenna's translation, which is the worst. Everybody's just living in a nutshell, sniffing their own farts, apparently. I know that's kind of funny, but I mean, it's really quite literal. There is, and this really, if anything sums up where the world is going and in the wrong direction, there's a flood in Southeast Asia. I forget which country, Laos, Burma. And talk about possibly getting electrocuted. It was flooding in this gaming room where all these people sit behind computers and play games. Okay, whatever, right? Well, it had flooded all the way to just below the desk where the computers are. And everybody's sitting there in their swim trunks, playing video games, endangering their lives from electrocution. Just oblivious to the flood. Instead of like doing something to bail out the place. I mean, it's literally like 3.5. Man, what a perfect example of where humanity is right now. Never ever before has it become so incredible. I know what people use VPNs for. I know what you use VPNs and Tor sites for. I know it, and you know it. But because of what's going on right now, where people are being, getting their lips zipped. You know what I mean? The big C word. You know exactly what I'm talking about. VPNs and Tors have become incredibly important for critical free information. The communication. Here is something else. I was contacted over the past 48 hours by people that were posting on various things in Australia. On Facebook. I'm going to call it Facebook. That's what it should be called. It's innocent stuff, not like, foaming at the mouth stuff. And all these Australians contacted me, so saying that they've been blocked for a month or more on Facebook for posting innocent comments. So what's going on? This is no hearsay. This is many Australians told me this. This happened to them. They contacted me. And one of the great boons of having a YouTube channel and reaching out to people is that I hear back, I get emails. Sometimes it's just a flood of emails like, oh damn, I just wish the email would just stop dinging. It's just like bing, bing, it's just, but still I'm a sponge for information. So all these people in Australia are getting shut up for spreading information. Never before have I seen a greater, I know what people are doing with VPNs and Tors, right? Movies and all that other stuff. You find whatever. I don't take position on that at all. But for the exchange of critical free information, and it's also, too, the reason why I am once again a ham radio operator. I purchased a couple Baofeng 2-meter 440s. So that when and if things go down, I'll still have communication tools. Now the reach for 2-meter 440, i.e. UHF and VHF, is not that great. And that's explicitly assuming that repeaters, which are tied to the power grid, would go down, that I still have communication portals. Never has there been a greater need for VPNs and Tor for communication of information. There's no downside to this, none whatsoever. I cannot think of a single downside. There is none. Everybody should have 3 months of non-perishable food. Non-perishable, and it should be stuff that you normally eat. In other words, when it starts getting close to expiring, you can eat it, so you didn't waste your money. And this is what people do, is that they'll eat stuff that's close to expiring and they'll replace it with other stuff that it is not. Everybody should have a go bag, and it really is important to have a backup plan for possibly going somewhere, preferably the countryside, if you know somebody in the countryside or can make arrangements. And that's not, 'cause I'm no Chicken Little person. I don't scare. When things, the only thing that stresses me out actually are all the bills and the nonsense of daily life. When things get dangerous and normal people start screaming and running, that's when I get calm. The only stuff that I really do mean this, the only thing that stresses the hell out of me is just bills and nonsense. House insurance, car insurance, property taxes, regular tax. It's just on and on, just a flurry of BS. Can't stand it. It just drives me crazy. But when things get hot and heavy and serious and dangerous, I'm not saying I'm a danger junkie, even though I used to skydive every day and used to cave dive, oh my gosh, nearly every day, literally. O2 decompression tanks, underwater scooter, Steel 90 with a yoke, BCD redundancy, endless light redundancy. Back in my day of cave diving, it was halogens with giant battery packs. That's who I am. That's just me personally. I don't know why I mentioned that specifically. But I'm just seeing so many problems today. People can't communicate anymore. Everybody's just running around in their own little nutshell. And they really can't see the bigger picture. People need to have their heads on a swivel, look what's going on around them, and always be prepared. And I don't mean like crazy prepared. There's some stupid TV show called Preppers, like National Geographic. They'll like watch 2 episodes. Just a bunch of crazy people. I mean, just sorry, but just ludicrous. Like, oh yeah, I've made a go bag in case aliens landing, and I got some tinfoil hats in my backpack. Just craziness. I don't believe it. It's not that I don't believe it. People that think that that's nutty are themselves nuts, because squirrels all summer long hoard away nuts in their little squirrel hole, or they bury them, because a squirrel has common sense. Bears fatten up before wintertime, but only a dumb human, which is most human beings, will like have everything goes south, or as the Brits say, everything goes mammaries up. Only a stupid human being would have like 2 or 3 days of food. Well, I got a few cans of beans, and like something bad happened, I'm really up the creek. It's like, well, isn't that a problem? You think you should correct? Hey, I ain't too worried about it. I don't think that'll ever happen. Here's the last note, and this is 100% undeniable. Sorry for the dramatic pause there. So, remember this one. This is a good one because it's accurate. Civilization is the thinnest crust imaginable, sitting over top of the largest, most dangerous, most powerful volcano imaginable. Let me repeat that to you again as a exit to this video. Civilization, all the niceties of everyday normalcy. Civilization is the absolute thinnest crust that sits on top of the largest, most dangerous, most powerful volcano imaginable. And that is 100% irrefutable, undeniable, and true beyond any shadow of a doubt. There's not a single person with 5 cents worth of wisdom that will disagree with that because it is true. And if you know that, then that is a primer from which to leave. I'm going to go slice up these really, these hot tomatoes and eat them. Ooh, Mr. Tomato. I'm going to edit that out of this video. Ooh, Mr. Tomato, I bet you taste really good. Someone's going to screen grab that. Screen grab this, me rubbing a tomato on my face. Oh, Mr. Tomato, you're so yummy. I'm sorry, I've had too much caffeine today. This tomato actually smells good. I love these yellow ones with the red stripes on them. Yeah. An heirloom tomato, obviously. Yeah, it's so good. Yummy tomatoes. Not those horrible ping pong tomatoes that you get at a grocery store that taste like styrofoam. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to laugh, huh? I don't trust anybody that doesn't have a sense of humor. I really don't. For good reason. Thank you.